A teacher is a person who helps others to acquire knowledge. They know how the mind of students gets focused in studies, and they use creativity so that students can concentrate on their studies. We have seen teachers teaching us, guiding us, scolding us, motivating us, right? Have you ever imagined your teachers beyond being teachers? For example, where do they go after school? Do they go home? Do they take rest? Do they eat junk foods? Do they hang out with their friends? Do they make mistakes? Do they get scolded by their parents? Had they also been students ever? Did they show tantrums? Were they innocent or naughty? So all these questions runs in the mind of a small child. An English poem from class 6 Ncert, Where Do All the Teachers Go, written by Peter Dixon, describes mind of a small child. To get complete explanation of the poem, watch the video till end. Hello everyone, you're watching the tutor. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, make sure to subscribe it so that whenever I upload a video, you are notified. Okay, now let's begin with the poem. Where do all the teachers go? For a little child, a teacher is special. It is difficult for a small child to think of his teacher as an ordinary person. See, for a small child, for a small student, it is difficult for him to imagine his teacher as a ordinary person, as an ordinary person. He thinks that teacher is very special. A teacher is very special for child. Okay. So here, the first stanza, where do all the teachers go when it's 4 o'clock? Do they live in houses and do they wash their socks? So here what the child is thinking, that where do all my teachers go when it's 4 o'clock? Why 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock is the time that 4 p.m. after 4 p.m. your school is over and you go to home, right? So here the child is thinking, do my teachers also go home? Do they live in houses and do they wash their socks? Socks means clothes. Okay, so he is comparing his own habits with teacher, that what I do the same thing teachers also do or not. He's thinking like that. Do they wear pajamas and do they watch TV? And do they pick their noses the same as you and me? So he also thinks that do my teacher wear pajamas and do they watch TV at home and do they pick their noses? This is a habit that some of the naughty students or naughty children they do. They put their finger in inside their nose. Yes. So he is thinking that do my teacher do this the same as you and me do it? Here the rhyme scheme in the first stanza is A, B, houses, C, and here socks. This is B. Here clock and socks are rhyming. So A, B, C, B. So this rhyme scheme is followed in each stanza. Same rhyme scheme will be there in each stanza. A, B, C, B. Okay. Now the next stanza. Do they live with other people? Have they mums and dads? And were they ever children and were they ever bad? Now he is wondering, he is thinking that my teachers, where do they go? Do they live in houses? Do they have their mums and dads? Do they have their family or they live alone? And were their children ever like me? And were they ever bad? Means when they were small, were they doing any bad things or they were always good? So these type of question is coming in his mind. Now the next stanza, did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner if they pinched the chocolate flakes? He also thinks that my teacher, did they ever made any mistake? Did they ever make any mistakes when they were small like me? Did they write any wrong spellings? And were they punished with the were they punished by their teachers for doing wrong or for eating secretly chocolates in the classroom. Okay. Then next, did they ever lose their hymn books? Did they ever leave their greens? Did they scribble on the desktops? Did they wear old dirty jeans? Hymn book means religious books. Okay, religious books. So here the child is thinking that did they ever lose their books? Sometimes, see, children, they are careless in keeping their books properly. Sometimes their notebooks are missing, sometimes their homeworks are missing, right? So some of the other thing, they lose it. So he is thinking that even my teachers were doing the same thing. Did they lose their books? And did they ever leave their greens? Greens means vegetables, green vegetables here. Children, they don't have the habit of eating green vegetables. They like to eat junk foods, but they don't like to eat green vegetables. So here he's thinking that my teachers also did not eat greens, or did they eat greens? He's confused actually. Did they scribble? Scribble means scribbling on page, like writing very dirtily. Okay, scribbling, writing in a shabby way, scribbling on the desktop. Did they wear old dirty jeans? So all the bad habits that the child is having in him, he is comparing his habits to the with the habits of teachers, that do they also do the same thing that I am doing. Okay. Then in the last stanza, I'll follow one back home today. I'll find out what they do. Then I'll put it in a poem that they can read to you. Now, finally, what he decides, that I'm having so many questions in my mind. To get answers to that question, today I'm going to follow one of my teachers. Okay, so he decided to follow one of his teachers, that today I'm going to follow his footstep. I will see where my teacher is going after 4 o'clock, and what my teacher is doing, and I will write it in a poem so that others can read it and know that what really teacher do after going home after 4 o'clock. This is written by Peter Dixon. I hope you understood the poem. It's nothing but about the mind of a child, that what he thinks about his teachers. He has many questions in his mind. He is comparing his habits with his teachers, that do my teachers do the same thing that I do, because he feels that a teacher is a special person. He consider teacher as a special person in his life. So he thinks that whether they do normal activities like us, or they do things differently. That is what he wants to know. Now let's see the question answers of the same poem. First one is, answer these questions. Why does the poet want to know where the teachers go at 4 o'clock? So why does he want to know? You can start writing from here. The poet wants to know where the teachers go at 4 o'clock because he is curious to know about teachers' life. Okay, about teachers' life. Then second is, what are the things normal people do that the poet talks about? So what are the things that poet has mentioned in the poem? So you can write, according to the poet, normal people live in houses with mum and dad. Mum and dad wash their socks, wear pajamas, watch TV, etc. So these are the things that normal people do according to the poet. Then next one, what does he imagine about? Four questions are given here. Where teachers live. So what he's imagining about teachers, that where teachers live. So you have to write he imagines if teachers also live in houses. What they do at home. What do they do at home? I'm writing here. Answer. He imagines he imagines if they also wear pajamas, wash clothes, and watch TV. Then next, the people with whom they live. So what he imagines, that teacher, what with whom they live? He imagines if they also live with their mum and dad. Then last one, their activities when they were children in school. Answer, he imagines if they were caught for their mistake for their mistake and got punished. Okay. Then fourth one, why does the poet wonder if teachers also do things that other people do? So why does the poet wonder? So you have to start like this. The poet wonders if teachers also do things that other people do because because for him teachers are very special and it is difficult for him to think that teachers live a normal life. Okay, because for him teachers are very special and it is difficult for him to think that teachers live a normal life. Now the fifth one, how does the poet plan to find out? What will he do once he finds out? So what the poet is planning, the poet plans to follow one of his teachers. Answer, the poet plans to follow one of his teachers, and he once he get the answer, he will put it in a poem for others to read. Okay. Now the next one. What do you think these phrases from the poem mean? These are the two phrases which have been taken from the poem. First is punished in the corner. What is the meaning of punished in the corner? It means uh, to get punishment, to get punishment by teacher or an elderly person for being caught for doing mistake. When you do any mistake or when you make any mistake and you are caught by your teacher, you are punished in the corner. Okay, to get punishment by teacher or an elderly person for being caught for doing mistake. Then next is leave their greens. Leave their greens means not eating green vegetables. Okay, not eating green vegetables. So here we have done with the poem and the notes of the same poem. I hope you found this video useful. If you want more such explanation and notes of English chapters and other subjects, do let me know in the comment box that you want other subjects explanation also. Till then, take care.